trap your papers and your game pieces with the Trapper Keeper game. Hi, I'm Laurie from TTPM. Based on the popular 80s and 90s school supply, this game from Big G Creative allows players to stash homework, quizzes, parent signatures, report cards, notes from classmates, and field trip slips to score points. And you'll totally score in toy videos when you click subscribe below. The game is for 2 to 5 players ages 8 and up, and each player gets a folder. In the center of your playing space, you'll set up a 3x3 grid of school paper cards, with 9 cards in each stack and the top cards face up. 6 bell cards will be placed in a face-down stack next to the grid. The player chosen as teacher's pet for the game gets the apple and is in charge of the bell stack. There are 7 types of school paper cards, each with its own way of scoring, which I will get to once we're done playing. You've got quizzes, homework, notes from classmates, detention, signatures, field trips, and report cards. Please make sure you take a moment to actually read what's on the cards. One of my favorites is the homework report on Marco Polo. He really loved swimming and finding things. A+! On your turn, choose any row or column in the grid and collect the top card from each stack. The teacher's pet will also turn over 1 bell card, and you can choose to pick 3 school paper cards based on the pattern of the red lockers shown on the bell card. Then you tuck all 3 cards into one of your folder's pockets. Keep in mind that cards that are in the blue pocket will only score the blue doodles at the end of the game, while cards in the red pocket only score on the red doodles. More on that in a second. Play continues like this, with more school papers being flipped over once there are 3 or fewer face-up cards in the grid. When the last bell card is flipped over, each player takes one last turn and then proceeds to scoring. So scoring is probably the most involved part of the play. On the score pad, you'll see a list of the 5 different doodle types: heart, smiley face, cool S, cube, and tic-tac-toe. The player with the most red and blue doodles of the specific type scores 5 points, while the player with the second most scores 2 points. Then you score the types of cards you have. Sort the cards by type, pairing each signature card with a report card or field trip card to allow it to score. Then starting with quizzes, score each type of card based on what the card says. So you might score points for having the most type of card, or score a certain number of points based on how many cards you have in a set. When all of that is done, total up each player's points, and the player with the most points is the coolest kid in school. If you didn't like doing math in school, then you'll probably wish the scoring portion of this game was a little simpler, or as simple as just picking 3 cards every turn. But though the gameplay might seem simple, there is strategy involved in choosing which cards to collect based on point possibilities. One of the biggest appeals of the game is the packaging, and players who remember using a Trapper Keeper when they were in school will enjoy the game's trip down memory lane. I'm showing you the tropical style of the game packaging, but you can also get unicorn and space. Who else out there had a Trapper Keeper when they were in school? Mine was just plain black, but I'd love to hear what theme you had on yours, so leave me a comment. Let's go over the pros. Interesting strategy when choosing cards, amusing card content, and nostalgic appeal for older players. The only con is the scoring process. I'm going to give this game 3.5 stars. For where to buy and current prices, visit TTPM and subscribe to our YouTube channels for more reviews every day.